it's like when I see people all the time that tell me, I'm going to read 50 books a year. He said, oh, yeah, I'm doing that right now. I said, okay, so you read 50 books a year, and each book has 15 chapters. And each chapter has a strategy that you're supposed to put into play. He said, yeah, that's right. I said, but if you're reading this book and you want to read this book in a week, because for 50 books, you're going to have to read a book a week, and you're only going to give yourself 2 weeks off for the year, 52 weeks in a year. He said, yeah, okay, yeah, that I understand that. I said, but you'll never implement. Like, just think about if you read 4 books in a month and they all have 15 chapters. That's 60 strategies. That's more strategies than you have per week for a year. So even if you did 1 strategy a week, you've already have, out of 4 books, 1 month of reading, you've got more strategies than you could implement in a year, unless you're trying to implement more than 1 strategy a week. But every time that, like what I talked to you about before with these gurus, each strategy, you got to give it at least a week, at least. Most strategies are going to take 3 or 4 weeks to really get going, to be able to see if it's working, measure it, try to do a little bit different adjustments, and make sure that you're on track with it. There's a lot of work, a lot of effort into it. So if you're reading 50 books a month, if you're reading 50 books a month, you're not doing anything else. You don't have time to try to start putting, like, you'll have those ideas and be, oh yeah, I could do this, I could do that, whatever, but you'll never actually do things. That's why I created the 1 chapter books. The 1 chapter books, my book series, is all about taking action on one thing at a time. Here's the business problem that you have, the entrepreneur problem you have, and here's the solution. Here's what you need to do. And so you read the 1 chapter book, there's only 1 chapter, and then you put action into that so that you're solving the problem. And you put action into it and you get that working. And then you run into something else, you go and look for another 1 chapter book, and that is specific to what you need to do right now, and then you solve that problem and you implement it. I said, oh, okay. I said, it's all about taking easy out of the equation and putting the time and the effort into making the strategy work. But you really should only be working 1 new strategy at a time. And once you get that strategy working and it's working for you, then you implement another new strategy. But you still have that other strategy. Now it's kind of on autopilot. You know how to manage it. You know the expectations of it. And then you start putting effort into this next strategy. But you can't put 50 strategies in play all at once. And you can't, it doesn't make any sense to read all these books. Now, some of these books, maybe you're just reading to have insight on, somebody's journey. It's an autobiography, those kind of things. Yeah, that's for entertainment and just to give you an idea of, yeah, you can do it too because this person did it. Yeah, this person wasn't super successful at the very beginning, but here's the kind of their journey, and this is what they did to become successful. But if you're reading all these different books and you're trying to implement all these knowledge, it's like, when are you going to implement the knowledge? Next year? So you're going to read all these books this year, and then you're going to implement that knowledge next year? And he's laughing, right? He's laughing at me. He's thinking, oh man, you got it. That's exactly kind of what I was thinking, but I was thinking I could start putting some of this stuff into action. I said, yeah, but how long does it take you to read, a book? He's like, well, a couple of hours a day I read the book, and I usually have it finished. It takes me about 5 days. It depends on what I have going on. Not every day I have time to read the book, or it's an audio book. Maybe I listen to the audio book faster, but then I got to go and listen to it again because you don't remember all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff, right? So yeah, that's why when you read it, it's like you read a little bit of it and you absorb it. Then you go and you read a little bit more the next day and you absorb it. But at some point, you got to start taking some of that knowledge and put it into action, because that's what people struggle with the most. And that's what I help people with in my Mindset for Success training programs. Because a lot of people have the knowledge, but they don't know how to implement it, and they don't know what steps to take first, what steps to take next, what things to do later, what strategies to use right now, what's going to help you at the beginning, and what kind of strategies are you going to use in the middle, and what kind of strategies are you going to use as you become successful so you can stay successful. Because becoming successful is very hard, but staying successful is even harder.